Hi, everybody. So glad you're here. We know that you're all here for a YouTube presence that sells. Thank you for being here. I'm Allison Simpson. I'm from Dillon, Colorado, which is about an hour and a half west of here, up in ski country. And I am just going to tell you, buckle up. There is some great stuff coming your way from these two amazing YouTube aficionados. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Ooh, this is different than the other one. I would like to introduce Dawn Thomas. She is Silicon Valley and beyond. You never know where she's going to be. Santa Fe, Santa Cruz, who knows? She's everywhere. Jerry Pincus is our Myrtle Beach guy. He's also all over the place and doing some different fun things too. And so let's just start with you guys telling us a little bit about your channels. Before we do that, I mean, holy cow, look at those screens. You know, the subscribers, what's happening with views, oh my goodness. Wayne was supposed to be with us here today, and he is not, but he also is a powerhouse and one for you to follow on YouTube as well. Wayne Turner has some good stuff as well. So without further ado, let's talk about your channels and tell us what we need to know. Jerry.
Sure. I'm Jerry Pincus, and this is my real estate channel. It's all about helping you to avoid the pitfalls that are costly, so give me a thumbs up. So that little bit right there is your intro whenever you do who you are and what you do and what your channel's about.
I'm Dawn Thomas. My branding is SiliconValleyandBeyond.com, Silicon Valley and Beyond on Instagram. You just name it, that's where we are. Our channel is strictly about lifestyle, buying and selling property, buying and selling luxury property. We have a ton of videos on there. But realistically, compared to Wayne and this young man here, I'm the baby. So I've learned a lot from them in just our prep sessions. So you guys are in for a real treat, especially with all of us here.
Yeah. Just before we start, by a show of hands, who is a newbie, baby YouTuber, maybe no channel, just wanting to kind of learn about this and get a good start? Awesome. So good. Intermediate, who's maybe got a channel, got some videos going, looking for up-leveling your situation, okay? And who here is advanced, couple of channels, things working, you just want to learn some hacks and
get up here,
stuff.
Jay.
Yeah. Awesome. That's what we like to hear. So, okay. We have stuff for all of you.
So I want to tell you that there's a problem. The good thing is you guys are procrastinators that haven't gotten into it. And at this point, here's the problems. I've had 597 people call into the office wanting to buy and sell real estate directly from YouTube videos in the first 6 months of this year. And it's a problem because then you got to go answer the phone and you have to go ahead and find them a property or list their property. And it's terrible because then you might end up with like $127,000 in commissions that cost you nothing, okay? And then you end up with people who don't want to be in your neighborhood. They might be outside your area, and they might have to get a referral from agents, and then you got to fill out referral paperwork, right? So I've had 108 of those in 6 months. And then another problem that you might have is then YouTube wants to pay you money for your content. Like, you might get $50,000 for the first 6 months of this year that they're paying you. But I'm going to tell you the biggest problem. Biggest problem is if you go to Costco, your wife will not allow you to go to Costco without putting a baseball cap on to disguise you because somebody's going to come up to you and they'll say, can you come over to my house on Monday and list my house for me? And you get the biggest eye roll. So you guys are lucky. Those are the problems that you might have.
Mm-hmm. Not bad problems to have. So, tips to get out of every video. I think one of the things that I've learned a lot from this group, and it just is a good reminder, is that every video is going to have some certain components. You're not just recreating the wheel with every single video. So let's talk about some of the components that you want to have with each one of your videos.
Okay, so the avatar, that is your perfect customer. Think about in your mind the customer that you've sold before, what they were, who they were, what they were buying, how old they were, what's their demographic, how much money they make, what do they like to do. That's the customer that we're having this direct conversation with, guys. Not trying to make a viral video, just have a conversation with that person. If you get one view and it's that person, that's the money, right? So don't try to go out and make all kinds of videos about everything. Stay in your lane, make sure that it's related to one subject, Don't keep going from one to the other to the other. Stay in your lane about what that subject is, because if you do 5 of those, the algorithm's going to pick you up. It's going to find out that if it's land-based, for instance, that land will come up once, and then it'll feed them again, because you know the next up. You guys have been on YouTube. You know what happens. You get fed the next up. And if it's related to something else that they're watching, that's the reason to stay in your lane. So do 5 of those videos related. Move out of the lane a little bit, come back.
Yeah, and avatar is just another word for, a target client. That's all it is. I know mine is usually like a very high-level manager, CXO level position, somewhere in Silicon Valley or Santa Cruz. A lot of times Santa Cruz are buying a second home. And usually income has got to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $200K or more a year, because that's realistically what it costs to live in our area. And so what Jerry's a master, and so is Wayne, so is Allie. We all know where we are, and we all know who our clients are. So what might work in Jerry's area may not work in my area. So that's the thing that we really have to figure out. So when you are going out there and looking at other people's channels, you may say, okay, I really like this and this and this from theirs, but that wouldn't work for my client avatar, right? So just make sure, stay in your lane, as Jerry said.
One little tip that I have that I think is really important if you're a newbie, if you're just starting with your channel, is get your channel. All you need is a Gmail account to start a channel, but make sure that you don't just start with one video. Have a little bit of a reserve, make 4 or 5 videos, and load them all up at the same time. Then the YouTube algorithm is going to catch that, and it's going to know that you're worth watching, and so it's going to get you on a better start than just starting with one. So that's just another little tip.
Yeah, having a plan, but if you plan out what you're going to say, so what's the beginning, what's the end, and where you're going to end up at the end, right? Because the middle, make sure that you just don't get in front of the camera and start talking. We all know this stuff that the public really needs to know, especially helpful tips. You know, the things that constantly come up over and over again, right? So this is how you get viewers. This is how you get subscribers. This is how you get conversion to real people. You say what you're going to do, 1 or 2, 3 things in the beginning. You see what I said? I told my little story to you guys in the beginning. There was 3 problems. It's kind of a solution, right? It's making YouTube videos, and I threw a joke in there. That joke is your hook. That's the 30 seconds when you start off with a video. Guess what happens? The watch time goes up because, oh, this guy's got a personality, or you do as well. You're real people. You're not just, talking about blah, 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 but they want to be educated. They want to be and helped, and they're looking for that information. And we all have that, but if we put it into a presentation like that first 30 seconds, you're going to get the watch time. The algorithm will pick it up because they realize, oh, somebody's watching this. This must be something really important. And let me go back to this is the hook. So
I was going to show you.
So this is kind of what it is.
Keep going here.
Here are 13 must-know things to do before buying one of those cheap, affordable homes. It's what to look for and what to stay away from. So give me a thumbs up if you're good with that.
Okay, so the thumbs up.
Is that hard? Could we do that? Just have a nice hook, have something to catch you, and get 1 million views. So just,
The thumbs up is you're not asking for subscribers, right? Because everybody, oh, give me a subscribe. No, I don't want to. I don't know what you're talking about, right? If you give a thumbs up, that's like it's a confirmation. Are you good with that? And most of the time, that turns into a subscriber. So the helpful tips. I like to do numbers. So countdown. If you put it in your title, here's 13 problems with blah, blah, blah. The problems are really good because you're the solution, right? You give the problems, you end up being the solution in every scenario. But I do countdowns, so if it's 13, I'll go number 13 in descending order, number 13, and I'll give that blop real quick, boom, and then I go to 12, and they're going to stick. Your watch time goes up as well, so this is what that looks like.
Number 12, HOA. Are you buying in a homeowners association? You want to get a copy of the deed covenants, the meeting minutes, and the current budget before buying. Look, you want to know if they're flush with cash, or if there's a cash call and they're asking you for money, or are they going bankrupt, or is there pending litigation? This is the stuff you really want to know before you get involved.
It's helpful, right? And it's quick. So those are the things that you need to think about and write down. I script out. When I was doing it, I was just freestyle going, talking. Problem with that is I was talking too much, and then people would jump off, right? So if you get real quick to the point and you're snappy and then you throw a joke in there every once in a while, you're going to get watch time, and then you're going to get the next video watched. And it's like a library, right? You have all these in there, and then they'll keep on binge, then they'll get binge watching. So that's a good thing. Yep.
So do you start with 13 because they think number one's going to be even better, so they're going to stick around for number one?
Yeah, and there's no rhyme or reason to any of it.
Yeah,
so.
the question she asked was, do we start with 13 because the tension builds and they're going to think number one is even better? And yes, that is the psychology behind that.
Yes.
Will that be 13 separate videos, or is that one video?
That's one video. It might be a 10-minute video. That's how you make longer videos, because you're just making the points that are in our head. But you just got to make sure that you have that all scripted out.
Yeah, and to that point, if it is a longer video, YouTube has what's called chapters now. So if it is 13 different points, you could segment those however you wanted to, and then repurpose those on things like Reels on Instagram, wherever you're going to post, right? And so, there's so much technology just within YouTube and how you can make it work and repurpose. I don't do anything that I can't repurpose.
So did you do all 13 in that video?
Yes. Yeah. And that video, I think, got like 500,000 views.
And I think with YouTube, it's really important to remember that, well, it's the second largest search engine right after Google. It's owned by Google. And people go to YouTube with questions like, what do I need to do? They want to learn things. They're there to watch things. And so a 10-minute video is not unusual on YouTube and will get watched. It's not going to work on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. You're going to have to use one of the programs like Opus, which I know we'll talk a little bit more about, and these chapters to kind of chop it up so it makes it a little bit more, to fit with the other platforms. But YouTube, people are there to work. They want to learn things. They want to hear everything you've got to say. So it's okay to do there's long form and short form on YouTube, but yeah, Lila.
Can I get your YouTube channel, Jerry?
It's really fancy. I thought long and hard about what it is called. It's Jerry Pincus.
And we'll have a slide at the end that has all of us stuff in it. I think it does anyway. But so let's just.
So how do you get referrals? Again, this is another problem that you're going to have, because this is the script that I use to get referrals.
On the other hand, buying an affordable house, finding a cheap home, and getting the deal of the decade, it does happen about once a week, guys. But many buyers can find a hidden gem, but really knowing where to find these, what to look for, and what to stay away from is super important. Wouldn't you agree with that? So, wherever you are in the nation, whether it's coastal Carolina area or Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area where I am today, or anywhere in the United States, I have a network of real estate experts that I can hook you up with, and they'll help you find your hidden gem, and also to avoid those pitfalls that are costly. Just go ahead, pick up the phone, give us a call, 843-839-9870. I hope you're enjoying these videos because I'm making them for you. Comment below, let me know if you enjoyed this video, if it was helpful to you in any way, and if you've subscribed yet, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.
So you appreciate people, and you also ask questions. That's retention. That keeps them involved. This is subscribers. So again, there's different little things that you can say in each one, but this is how you get subscribers.
You got to look at the broader economic trends and the stuff that no one else is looking at to figure out what's really going on here. And this is why I'm doing this video, to educate the public. But if this is your first time here, welcome aboard. This is the Real Estate Channel that's all about helping you to avoid those pitfalls that are costly. So give me a thumbs up if you're good with that. Now, for years, you and I have been lied to. And I'm not talking about Bigfoot, mermaids, or the Loch Ness Monster. I want to give you the 7 reasons why home prices have not crashed, and here they are in descending order. Number 7, baby boomers. Now, what does that have to do with anything? I'm going to...
I think she took the long version of that, but did you get the gist?
Before we go just past that, because you just saw it, one of the things that Jerry's really good at, and I think we all are using more and more, is the cutaway, where you're have one background for a little bit and then you change it up. And it's because the YouTube algorithm is noticing that and it likes that. People like to see that.
They know where you are from a geographical perspective.
Yeah.
So we used to do a lot of stuff on green screen back in the day. And if you want it to be authentic and be, tied to your geographic location, that no longer works.
Should we give away the secret of how you do that? It's so hard.
Well,
Should we tell anyone?
you can go ahead.
I mean, should you tell?
Okay,
It's
I
a
will.
secret.
Here's the deal. Where you are and what you say in your script, make sure you figured that out where you're going to stand. So if you're talking about condos, make sure there's a condo in back of you. Because YouTube, the AI, listens to every word that you say. It translates that in the back end. What's this video about? So use your keywords too. Whatever you're trying to rank for, in that, make sure you have that in your script, but also the background. So you want me to talk about that a little bit?
I think you should show them
Okay.
how you do it. It's
All right.
really.
So here's how you do. Oh, by the way, I brought my film production crew here. Give them a round of applause. Right here. I'm fancy. So the coffee cup is really, you got to watch out for that guy. Anyway, so here's the jump cuts. You see how in the background, and I'm sitting there and there'd be something behind me. And then real quick, before I was all over the place and I got yelled at because the comments on there were ridiculous. They're telling me speed it up. You're too slow. Okay, well then I'll speed it up. I'll get a cup of coffee. Get to the point quicker. So I took out stuff, right? Actually taking out makes it better. But here's what you do for the jump cut. And I use a teleprompter, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then I go like this, and then I go like this. Oh, look at all those people behind me. Oh my, there's something going on. And so you basically are taking, you can stand still and you can do 4 different positions or whatever, but just try to get in an area. If you're in a park, you could be over the water of a lake. You could be a complex behind you, that sort of thing. So that's a jump cut. Little phrases that you use, just use it in a paragraph and then jump to the next thing. You ever notice that in videos? Right? They jump. That's retention. That's to keep people involved.
Yeah. So scripting is huge. I have done videos before. The last set that I did was 21 videos, $24,000. Okay. One of them was very, very expensive, over $4,000. It's a really, really cool video.
It's a nice video.
Yeah, there's no scripting in it whatsoever, but scripting is huge. Plan what you're going to say what you've planned, and then tell them, we know. Tell them what you're going to say it, and then tell them what you told them, and that's the thing. But do keep it short. It's why I don't like Twitter, because I can't keep my characters or what I want to say in 140 characters. But anyway, scripting is huge. Planning it out. I used to do costume changes, do all this other stuff. You don't have to do that. And I know a lot of you are thinking, oh my God, but what if I have a bad hair day? Who cares, right? People want to know we're real people. Some of the best things I've ever posted on anything are my own home remodels. People love to see the realtors doing their own home remodels because they think we all drive, fabulous cars and buy the most perfect houses and everything else. There's only one house that I've ever lived in that I didn't do a remodel on, and it was a brand new home. And we only stayed in that one for 18 months. But nonetheless, I'm on the road to another remodel, and guess what? I'm going to be doing videos on this because it's helping clients understand that they can buy at a lower price point, do whatever they want to do to their own taste, and build equity in the property. Yeah. You don't need to do the costume changes. You can, Lee Brown, she's constantly out running around in her neighborhood, and she's doing videos all the time with her hair, back here, and and she doesn't care. But she gets a ton of views because she's being an authentic person. And as Jerry said, as long as you are providing something to them that's helping them with a solution or a problem that they're trying to solve, it's great. My videos tend to be a lot of educational and a lot of what we call evergreen, like the 5 best tide pools in Santa Cruz. Today we just turned our surfing etiquette, and Dana will appreciate this one, surfing etiquette in Santa Cruz video into a reel, and I got hammered on that because all the local surfers in Santa Cruz, when we first put it out, you're giving away our best surfing spots. Guys, this is surfing etiquette, and these are not private. These are public beaches. So even today, we put it up as a reel, and somebody says, well, you don't want to surf there. There's a lot of sharks in the water.
That's funny.
But make fun of it. Go, yeah, there is. So, but there's still lots of bodies out there. So good luck if it's, somebody else kind of a thing. So
That's good.
I do want to talk about bad hair days.
One way to.
But here's the thing. We all want to do a video, right? But then something gets in the way. You get a bad hair day. You got something else to do. The phone rings. The video that I showed where I was on the beach, okay, that day I cut myself shaving, and guess what? That sucker would not stop bleeding, so I'm like, I got to do this video. So believe it or not, I was concerned that people are going to comment, oh my gosh, what's that problem you got yourself? That video, if I wouldn't have done it, I wouldn't have gotten 800,000 views, okay? So don't think your video is gonna be crappy. Trust me on this. If you do 100 videos, your 100th video is gonna be much better than your first video, right? But that first video is in the library, and if it gets watched one time and connects with one person, that's what you need. So don't go concerned about what you look like or what's going on. Trust me on that.
A tip that I've found that has really worked for my team is we have a batch video shooting day, where we pick one day out of the month. We have the videographer that's there. We try to do it maybe in one of our listings. We have a lot of nice houses around, so we'll get the hair looking good. We do have a couple of outfits. Sometimes you can do costume change, but we'll video 30 or 40 videos in one day. Granted, that's my team of 5, and everyone will do 6 or so. And just get the scripts ready, get the hair cute, get the outfits, do it in some different places around the house if you're doing educational, whatever you're doing, but just having it be done one day for the month and then you can forget about it is really pretty nice.
Yeah, exactly. And I've done that a lot of different times. So we've all been learning about Chat GPT. I love it. Okay, I think it's the best thing since sliced bread because it saves me a boatload of time. I have a million different ways I use it personally too, including sending my neighbor a bill for the fence that we put in, and I want them to pay for half of it. Anyway. So just go into Chat GPT and, like Jana, make a 30-day plan for videos in Naples, Florida, and focus on higher end restaurants or whatever thing you want to do, and see what Chat GPT does. Because the whole purpose of Chat GPT in my book for our business is those of us, there's some really creative people in this room and they're marvelous, but I can tell you I don't always love being creative, but I can edit the hell out of anything. And so, start using those types of tools to come up with your calendar for these things. And as Ali said, have a bank of videos so that you have it all ready to go ahead of time. And if there's something that is urgent to the market, like in California, y'all have heard that we can't get insurance out there. So, that's another video that's more of an urgent thing. So I can just do a, 1.5 minute video and boom, here's what we're doing. Here's how we're, the solutions we've come across. Let us know if you have any questions. Happy to set up a private consultation.
So what do you put in a video, right? How do you come up with a title? Oh my gosh, I can't come up with anything. Start off by doing the things that we do every single day, the same questions that come up over and over again, right? Title that. But how do you talk to that person? They're sitting in the front seat of your car. What would you say to that person? That's a video, because that's the stuff that's real. It's you're telling your story, you're giving the information, and that's how you get your script written out. What would you say to the person sitting in your car? Don't act like you're doing a video, just talk to the person.
One thing sometimes if you're trying to think about what's going to be my hook, what am I going to do to get their attention? In Instagram, Facebook, you've got 3 seconds to get their attention. You've got a little bit more time with YouTube, but you can always Google what are some good hooks for videos, and so they'll come up with a list of I've got a secret, or did you know, or if you're like me, most people think. Anyway, there's just lots of different ways that are out there, and it's good to get some help if you don't know what to use on what kind of title. Ask the Chat GPT. I can help you too.
The chat is really good for this. The video description in the bottom, you can actually put in a description. If you guys use that, you should use all the characters. Let it talk to you. Put in your title. Let it talk to you, because YouTube again will pick that up. The keywords that you put in the bottom don't count as much. The description, you'd be surprised what you can rank for if you put it in the descriptions. And you also want to link back to other videos that you've done that are relevant to that video. Why? Because they know that, hey, there's something there that's relevant to that video. That'll come up later in the feed as well if they're binge watching.
It also gives you tremendous SEO juice. I love SEO juice, okay? That's how you get organic rankings on Google.
And if you let them in on a little secret, something like, oh my gosh, did you hear that the insurance rates are going up? And you know why? But here's a little thing that I found that might be very helpful. They're going to stick to the end of the video.
Yeah. Here's a video that Wayne Turner did. He's the king of the short form on YouTube. We can talk about it more if you want, but are you shooting it horizontally? Are you shooting it vertically? For the shorts, you're doing vertical, and you'll see this with Wayne, but I also want you to notice how quick it is, and he's edited out, or somebody has edited the ums and the ahs and the ohs and just any little spaces to make it really, really quick.
So if you're going to buy a house in your 20s, there's two things you need to know. One is FHA. Now, FHA allows you to purchase a property for only 3.5% down. The seller can pay your closing cost. If the seller doesn't pay your closing cost, it's going to cost you more or less around 7% total. But the seller can pay your closing cost. The second thing is RD, which stands for rural development. Now, rural development, as long as you qualify, you can purchase a house 30 to 45 minutes on the outskirts of any major metropolitan city all around the country. And RD is a 100% loan, so it costs you no money out of pocket if the seller pays your closing cost.
I think he got like 3.8 million views on that. So, but you see the jump cuts in there? Did you see how his head was bup, bup, bup? That's just tightening it up. There's an app, guys. Here's a hack for you guys. Any long form content that you have, Opus, O-P-U-S. I just started using this 2 weeks ago, so I'm taking my long form content.
Sorry.
It's AI. It's free. It's a free trial. It's one click. You put your keywords in, and it'll break it up. It'll give you like 5-6 suggestions out of your video. Gives you the title. Gives you everything. All you do is post. How easy is that, right? So there's your content. If you post one long form video a week and then just break it up and put it into those things, it's pretty easy. I'm dropping, I think, 5 this week. This time while I'm here, of the shorts that I broke up using that.
You're dropping them on the other.
Right now,
platforms.
they're timed, or what do you call, scheduled, but they've been coming out.
Once on YouTube, the long form. You're putting the short form on YouTube also?
Correct.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 different customers. As a reel or a short, 2 different customers. I've found that my customer base, again, who's my avatar, it may not be yours. It's an older person, retiring, looking to move south, but the shorts usually has a younger demographic. Why? Because they have it on their phone. It's an app. The older people do tend to watch it on the big screen, or they're not watching on their phones. A lot, you'd be surprised if you look in the back end how many people are actually watching on TV. I mean, it's like entertainment now. People have gotten rid of cable. They're watching YouTube. Who can believe that? But they're doing it.
Here's an example of one of the really awesome, amazing.
Yeah, so I just want to say, so I've sold Silicon Valley for years. The only thing sexy about it are the high price bands. We can sell $4 million teardowns. I have a $21 million development right now. It's all dirt, and it will sell. So the thing is I love the ocean. I love waterfront, and we had a house in the beach. We have another house at the beach now. So that's why we started working in the beach communities of Santa Cruz. But this is one of the lifestyle videos. Again, 0 words. Nowadays, it would probably be about 6,000, but you can cut it. You can stop it there. So I had a fellow that does a lot of drone type videos for some pretty big companies do that, and he told me never to tell how much I spent for it. But nonetheless, if you go to movetothebeach.com, that's a subset of our website. That's on there, and it does get a tremendous amount of views. But again, we're showing lifestyle, and that's exactly what we're selling. So,
yeah. So tell us a little bit. You've already met Jerry's assistant and seen his very technical equipment that he says costs less than $100, phone notwithstanding. Here's some of the things that you work. Tell us a little bit of some of your favorites and what do we have to have.
I can tell you. First off, I've got 1,200 videos now, so I can tell you probably what not to do, maybe not what to do, but what not to do, because I've done a lot of that. But I found that if you make it simple, you're going to do more video. So as far as the editing, as far as the scripting, as far as you just get to the point and do it. That's why this is so simple. I'm using a lavalier mic. It's plugged into my iPhone, which is an iPhone, I think 10. It's an old one. So you don't need any fancy equipment. Don't get hooked on that. just do the videos. Even if they're crappy videos, put them out there, post them, because your worst crappy video is going to be better than the one that you never did. Okay? So that's basically what works. It's an iPhone 11 here. Teleprompter, I told you about that. It's $19.99. It's an app. It scrolls. I break it out by a sentence, and you can make it as fast or as slow as you want to do. Because I got yelled at, I was looking. What are you looking away from the camera for? Well, I found out I was looking away from the camera. I didn't realize I was. So the teleprompter makes you look right at it. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. Then you jump cut and you move it around. I put it in those paragraphs. So I say a paragraph, boom. Paragraph, boom. Videorama, all this is edited on my phone. Again, super simple because I'm simple. And if you do it and it can get done quickly, you're going to go on to whatever else you got to do. The Typorama is for the thumbnails. You make them right for thumbnails.
For our beginners, what is a thumbnail? Why do we need to worry about thumbnails?
Okay, so you know the picture that they show of the video that comes up. Okay, that's your thumbnail. I found a couple things that tend to work. If you put a big face, your face, close up to the camera, just notice what you're watching on YouTube. The face, whatever it is, right up to the bigger the face on the thumbnail, it's crazy. It seems to get like twice the amount of clicks.
So don't worry though to that point though, because I've had somewhere I'm like in the middle of a blink, and that's the thumbnail. You can go in and change it just like you can on a property website or a property video. And
But this is lots of video practice that we've done.
and so, can I ask a question in the crowd? Who belongs to the perfectionist crowd other than me? Okay, y'all need to get over that, okay? It's one of the hardest things I ever had to do, and so I'm not kidding. Don't spend the money that I did. So that's why I had put up there, do not do what Dawn did. Okay, do what Jerry and do what Wayne have done, because it is so much easier now. The equipment, everything, $100. It's time invested. Get over yourself and just do it. So I want to see a show of hands. Who in the next week is going to shoot at least one video when they get home?
For real now,
Okay,
guys.
I'm going to
Make
pick
sure
on you if
you
your
guys
arm's
do.
not up.
Nice. Nice.
That's a great question, Jackie, from somebody who knows me probably a little bit better than a lot of the people here in this crowd. So I have all of the equipment in boxes in a closet. Truth be told, but when I get home, I have said at every single networking table that I went to today that I'm getting that equipment out. You know, I have permission to, you know, reach out to my new compadres in terms of my video mentors here. And, you know, because we all kind of learned various different things from one another, and I will do that. I also, just so you know, I have an entertainment guy joining my team, so he's going to be on video a lot too.
Yeah, Jake.
How much is going into your description or hashtags on the video with AI watching the videos now?
No hashtags for the most part. I have used hashtags. They don't work anymore. Your description, fill out, if it's 5,000 characters, get every bit of it in there and put those videos that are relevant or something that could be relevant to that in the description. The thumbnail is super important. Title and thumbnail. And how I write, I start with the title. Don't watch anybody else's video. Then I get the thumbnail together. Put 1 or 2 words in there. I usually have a scowl on my face. Why? People go to negative and they love scowls. Like, what's the problem? Well, you're the solution in the problem. But that's what does. And then I start bullet pointing, okay? And I do it in that order. And then I might look for the information, what I need to actually put in it. Because if you do it like that, all the experts, the ones that are super viral, I mean, like, I've got, my biggest video was 2.8 million, but I'm getting 800,000, 500,000, 304. I'm getting that more consistently now than I did. It's all about the title and the thumbnail.
Yeah. And I will say, I have, you know, from having the equipment in the closet to having the equipment right there, I have kind of a hybrid. I did hire a social media coordinator, just found a darling 20-year-old who had an Instagram account who wanted to learn more, and so she's been learning with us. She takes our videos, we just upload them to a shared folder. She edits them, puts them together, does she's learning about all the thumbnails as we go, and I'll have a list of things to take back to her. But just so that there's a chance to get some help without doing too much help,
Yeah, so, and to that point, this, guys, needs to be 100% a big portion of your marketing plan for your business. Please, please do this. It's one of the least expensive things you can do, providing you kick your ass out of the perfectionist club and get going, okay? ChatGPT can help write the script for you, okay? As James Nellis has said, and a few others, it's garbage in, garbage out. You got to get good at the prompts at the very beginning of OpenAI when you put in, you know, Dano could do, I mean, he's out to dinner all the time, all around the world, but let's just focus on Maui for a second. He loves Mama's Fish House and a few other places, right? Let's say he does the 5 best restaurants on Maui, right? He can have ChatGPT write a script for those, and then he can go in and edit it. And oh, by the way, don't you think the owners of each one of those restaurants are going to be super happy that he, as a super producer on Maui, have done a spotlight on their restaurant or their business? It's a win-win all the way across the board. And talk about cross-collateralization. You can put it everywhere. They'll put it on their Instagram. Here, you know, I'm serious. People will, you know, the owners of those businesses will put it on their Instagram and their feeds because somebody has taken the time to promote their business.
So true. So true.
Multiple channels for different types of things.
I do not, but I'm going to tell you that thanks, Mike. The question is, do you have multiple channels for different types of things? And I'm going to say it's an excellent idea to do so. I have not done that, but I'm going to give you a suggestion on how to do that. I can guarantee you're going to rank and come up in the searches. Go to each community that you go to in your community. If it's a subdivision, sit in front of the sign, do a little script. I can guarantee you talk about how many houses are in the community, grocery store is so many miles down the street, where things are located, what's in the community, what's the average square footage, how many bedrooms. Don't talk about price because that's an evergreen product. It'll sit out there, and I'm going to tell you something. You'll get low views, but that's going to make the phone ring because nobody else is doing it. And I can guarantee if somebody puts in the subdivision, Arrowhead, whatever your subdivision is, you're going to rank for it.
But you're not making a separate channel for each one of those.
I myself, because I would probably burn out my people now if I started doing it, so I would do a separate channel. And some of the bigger channels I've seen have done that, where they have a separate communities channel, and then they have their other content.
Couldn't you do a playlist underneath your channel for that particular neighborhood?
You could. The problem is it'll show up as a new video to those customers that are looking for retirement. I'm talking about 55 plus. I'm talking about retirement. And so they'd be like, oh, yeah. Yes.
Question, so if I was starting fresh and I wanted to target 3 markets in Newport Beach, totally different, would I do 3 separate channels starting brand new?
The question is would I used 3 separate channels if I was trying to brand that subdivision or community? If it's a town, I would not. If they're all close by, I would do it in those towns. So for instance, with me, it would be Conway, Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, that sort of thing. I would do that as a subdivision. I would do all those subdivisions on that same channel because they're close by.
But if it's different, like Newport Coast,
How far away are they from each other?
2 miles.
Okay, the question is how far are these communities? 2 miles, I would keep them all on the same channel. Because that customer may be, here's why, that customer may be moving out of one into another or looking to get more information about another one, and so they may talk about school districts, talk about all that stuff.
Yeah, and just like I say when I'm dealing with a seller and I'm trying to get them realistic on price, you may be in Saratoga, right? And let's just say it's a $5 million home. People don't typically look just in Saratoga. They're going to look at what else they can buy in that radius for that same price point. So I have the different, playlists in my channel, by the towns that I serve.
Question?
Yeah, so this is to Dawn. You have your welcome to Santa Clara, welcome to...
The whole series, yeah.
Yeah. Do you recommend, like, was that hugely successful for you doing that in my marketplace?
So that's a great question. So I have a whole series of, again, professionally done videos, Jackie, that are welcome to Saratoga, welcome to Los Altos, welcome to Palo Alto, welcome to various different communities. I use those in a wide variety of places. Okay, so first of all, they're on the website. Secondly, they're in a different playlist on my YouTube channel. Third, and probably most important, is that they're on what's called highnote.io. You guys have heard me preach this over and over and over again. I use highnote.io for every single new client, buyer, seller, or both. And I have various different templates for each person. And by the way, in the Star Power newsletter, there's a direct link to my High Note presentation. So just as an FYI, it's there. But if I know that they're looking for Palo Alto, or I know that they're selling in Palo Alto, I will put that video in there, welcome to Palo Alto, because it shows them, hey, wow, she's already, A, she knows about the community. Yeah. B, this is how probably she's going to market my home if she's marketing herself this way. It just is a huge wow from all of the other collateral we have in there, because there are a lot of things in there, because we're always catering to DISC personalities, right? The S and C's are going to read every single thing I put in there, and I can see in the High Note because it gives me the stats on exactly how many seconds they spent on every single asset I have in there. The High D's like me, I'm going to probably go, okay, yeah, that's great, and I'm out, right? And so, that's why I do it that way, because, those videos don't get a ton of views, but I use them for very specific purposes.
Yeah. And if I can say, I'm going to jump back to the communities. Okay, so I said stay in your lane, but just remember this. Stay in your lane, come out a little bit, and come back in. So don't think big. If you can get into something that's currently happening, for instance, the insurance issues, I've mentioned it in a couple of videos. It's happening right now. It's something that's on people's minds. If you can ride that coattail, because if somebody else has a 1 million view video that's about insurance blowing up, guess what? It'll get shown, that subject. You might get a good chance of getting a lot of lift from that if it's a relevant subject that's happening right now.
Yeah. I think this is something a lot of people want to know about, and I find it really interesting, is just monetizing your channel, and how does that happen? And Jerry's got that one sorted out, and so tell us what does that even mean?
I don't know that I've got it sorted out, but it's happening anyway. So, so you need 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, or a bunch of shorts, which is impossible dream to get. So they're lowering this now, but I'm going to tell you that if you do videos and you're consistent at it, it's going to happen. Don't worry about getting monetized. I told you they're paying me $48,000 something, whatever it is, $50,000 in the first 6 months of this year. It's just, I'm not doing it for that. It's all about the customer. It's all about the client. So again, think about what they're looking for, answer those questions, and then money will flow to it.
One thing that I would caution you, because I had known about monetization forever, and it was like, yeah, whatever, that's just another thing I need to do. But after I heard those numbers, again, on our prep call for this conference, I was like, holy smokes, I'm so going after that. We have some music on some of our videos that right now we're getting blocked from going monetization, so just be super careful. And these were free music things that we could use without having, but now all of a sudden the people are claiming copyright on them, so we're in the process of stripping the music off the videos, because this is way more important. I mean, 100.
Which number? 1,000. Well, I'm getting ready to, well, they give you a silver play button if you hit 100,000 subscribers, and I think as of this morning anyway, I only needed 1,400 more. So that's happening pretty soon.
Everyone subscribe, help Jerry out.
Yes.
Was that, and then, I mean, I don't know how many million views the channel has had, but it's a lot. And then, again, being consistent, I think, is the key to it, though. Don't worry about the numbers. If you get 2 views, great, because if you're talking to that customer, that's the conversion.
Yeah, and just to put that in perspective, I said this yesterday, those types of subscribers that Jerry and Wayne and even little old me have are bigger than some major brokerages out there with, tens of thousands of agents. I'm not kidding. Okay, and this is easy, but it's a discipline, right? And it's a mindset. And please just do it. Dawn, I'm talking to you.
Okay. I've been doing this 10 years, and again, if you go back, I'm talking really crappy videos, but nobody was on YouTube at the time and nobody was watching. But guess what's happening now? These people are actually have YouTube on their smart TVs and they're watching it, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. The point is again, educational, informational, and something that's going to entertain them. And if you can, so no, if you did one a week, I will tell you this. If you did one video a week and it was relevant to your area, how many other people do it? I'm telling you guys, do it before your competition does. This is the Wild West right here.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that's going to be a complete game changer, and I'm not exaggerating, I had 597 calls into the office. Think about this. They're calling you. They're saying, I want something. You're not prospecting. They can go look around on all the other websites, and trust me on this, when they're done looking at websites, they're looking at all the properties and all that, guess who they're going to call when it comes time to do something? Guaranteed, because you built that trust, you're a real person, you're talking to them. Don't be afraid of what I look like in front of the videos, because I was hung up on that for a long time, and the worst videos I made were the ones that I didn't make, right? But the ones that came out, was the key to it all. It completely changes everything when they're coming up to you in Costco and saying, come over to my house on Monday and list my house. I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're out of time, but I wanted to, this is just something you can take a picture of just some tips and tricks that I got. But I think one of the things that we can all say is just do it. And what really makes a difference with YouTube is the consistency. So doing one video for 52 weeks is going to get you way more traction than doing 52 videos for 52 days. So don't burn yourself out. Start with one a week. And if you have a little extra energy, do 2 a week. But it's consistency and just following the few simple little tips and tricks to make it happen. It's not hard. It doesn't have to be overly produced. You got this.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Do any of you have if you have a team, would you have your team members do it as well on your channel?
I just have my office channel is what I use, and we all put videos on it. It's Summit Real Estate, and it's we all put stuff on. That's just sort of the way we work.
Yeah, I have 2 now very good-looking young men and almost a third very good-looking young man. Absolutely, they're going to be on video. So.
And my team, some of them have channels and they're doing well, but they're basically local, really hyper-local. And then others are afraid to get in front of the camera. So, it runs the gambit.
Is there any value to replying to comments? Does that help the algorithm?
The question is replying to comments 100%, okay? It is trigger to here's what comments, likes, duration, long-term duration. Listen to the comments, reply back to the comments. Here, for instance, I'll say in a video, this prompts comments, I will say, hey, tell me what's going on in your area. Are you seeing this happening? Okay, so what happens then is they'll comment, how much your house is going for in your community, right? Are you seeing prices go up? Are you seeing prices go down? Tell me what's happening in your community. Oh, I live in blah, blah, blah. And I'll say, okay, I live in Dallas. Okay, here's what's going on in Dallas. Thank you so much for sharing how much real estate is going for in the Dallas market, Dallas, Texas market. I truly appreciate you taking the time to comment here on this channel and to watch this video, and I'll see you in the next one. And how I reply to that is literally in the microphone, and I speak it because I can't type. I am dyslexic. Everything would look terrible. And so I'll speak that into there, but you truly appreciate them. There's a hook. I guess they're coming back. Everybody wants to be appreciated. And thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video and to comment. Everybody wants to be thanked, right? So then when you do that, they keep coming back, and then they'll comment on the next one because you commented prior and you asked a question. But you also use that little where it was and the real estate market or homes for sale or anything, keywords, they get picked up as well in the comments.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you guys.
Yeah.
You've been great. Great questions.
Happy filming.